This is the photograph I'm going to use for this tutorial. It's a sunlit face with the sunlight hitting the face from the top. You can see almost 2/3 of the face in the light and 1/3 in the shadow, creating large shapes of shadow for the eye sockets and also under the nose, and the cast shadow of the whole head on the neck. You can clearly see a variety of edges, with cast shadows having very sharp edges and the form shadows having softer edges. So as you can see here, most of the shapes have got two sides, one side that is sharp and the other side that is soft. And this is what I'm going to pay specific attention to when I am putting charcoal pigment onto the paper. Um, so at first I block in the head and mapping out the shapes I see, indicating where the cast shadows are and also the form shadows, the eye socket, and I go all the way down, indicating where the nose is and also the cast shadow of the nose. This is very important to create those shapes with clear boundaries at this stage. After I have delineated all these forms and the smaller shapes of the face, I use the side of my palm to mass in charcoal pigment, creating very big shapes for the hair with as little variation as possible. And then I use my finger, my little finger, to smudge charcoal into those smaller areas, for example the eye sockets and the shadow under the nose. As I said, I am paying attention to the edges at this point, keeping in mind that every shape I'm creating has got two sides, one side that is sharp and the other side that is soft. And then I am using a very small piece of charcoal, using the side of that charcoal to create strokes and suggesting the shadows of the hair. So this is actually creating darkness into those mid-tones of the hair. And as I'm going darker, you can see that the face starts to get lighter and lighter. This is the kind of contrast that is important to suggest skin tone. And at this point I use a charcoal pencil. This is a soft pencil that I'm using to establish my shadows. I usually start with the eye socket, the space between the eyebrows, and also the area between the nose and the tear duct of the eyes. That's the most important area for me. And then I work down, go to the nose indicate some form shadows and a cast shadow. As I darken those two areas, there will be some reflected light showing, which is not as dark, but it's slightly darker than my halftones. Um, Now I keep working in the shadow areas using the same soft pencil. I do almost all the modeling in the shadow areas with the soft pencil, as it is dark. It gives better darkness compared to medium and hard pencils. And I do all the modeling in the light area with the hard pencil, and the transitions are done in the medium pencil. So pencil work in this technique of charcoal is actually the last stage when you want to do the modeling, or you may want to fix your vine charcoal onto the paper. Um, so the pencils do two things. One is adding details and modeling, and the other thing is fixing and blocking charcoal pigment onto the paper. Just keep in mind that you should be very selective when it comes to adding details and modeling, because in this charcoal technique you do not want to lose all those dynamic big shapes that you created at first. You just want to add a few details to make your drawing more realistic. Most often what happens is that you add too much detail and your drawing will look tired and not very energetic. So it's very important to just keep some areas as they are and choose some focal points, or the areas that you think will add something to the character of the face, and then add more details to those areas. So the bottom line is not to copy everything you see in the photograph. Just let the medium, that is charcoal, show through.